Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. I hope everybody is doing well. And today we're going to preview some items I found recently at a flea market. And we're going to talk a little bit about the reels, and then we'll talk a little bit about which ones may become previews for the fishing reel videos that I do on the YouTube channel. Before I get started, I want to thank our first responders and essential personnel and everybody keeping us safe during the pandemic. You truly are our hometown heroes, and without your efforts, I know we would be in worse shape than we are. So thank you for what you did. I ran into a vendor who was selling Penn fishing reels. And a lot of times folks ask me why I do so many Penn fishing reels. And the truth of the matter is that we're on the Northeast Atlantic seaboard, not far from Philadelphia, where many of these reels were made. These reels were made by a company that was specialized in saltwater fishing, and I'm kind of located off of the harbor of New York City, and it's ideal and a good fishing ground for a lot of different saltwater species. So I see a lot of the older Penns, and I see a lot of reels still fishing today. We've had some dialogues in our comment sections about how these reels just are bulletproof, it's hard to find a way to break one of these things, and if they break, it's easy to find the repair pieces and parts for them. So that all contributes to their popularity. So I paid about $100 for this lot. It was being sold by a vendor at a flea market. He had them all out on the table. We started talking about one or two that I had an interest in, and eventually the conversation just turned to, well, what do you want for the entire lot? And we negotiated a little bit, and we settled at about $100. So I want to show these to you. We'll talk a little bit about the reel itself and a little bit about what's going on. This is a Penn Senator 3.0. This is kind of a beefed up Long Beach model, Model 66. It is a black-sided one. They made these in a smaller frame with a higher speed gear in the red side-plated ones, but this is the traditional black side-plated one. And this one, I would say you could probably pull up Davy Jones' locker. It is just that strong a reel. It has three side posts on front and back. Those crossbars help to reduce frame twist. In this case, we have a rod tie down on this one, and otherwise the reel is in pretty good condition. The looks like it's been used recently. There's not a lot of accumulation of dirt and grease and the like on the fishing line. When I go to repair and ready this reel for resale, that line will come off. We'll make sure that the drag washers in here are good, and that this one gets a second chance. Not only this one, but there's two more here as well. And you can generally tell how the reel is used. So this one has lost some of its chrome plating on both sides, which means it was in the salt water. I think somebody probably made an attempt to clean this up. They probably simply took a metal object like a screwdriver or perhaps a utility knife and just scraped. It'll flake right off, and there's not much you can do there. All you want to do if you find yourself in a situation where you have a reel like this is simply to just make sure that it's smoothed over. And I'll usually use a steel wool pad and some metal polish, and what I really want to do is just prevent any rough edges from catching on the line and wearing the line down. This one has some older monofilament on it, but if you can see, as you're reeling the line, you would be reeling it this way. You're thumbing the line in, and it's going to be going across here, and I can just feel just how rough it is kind of going over that boat rash. So you want to make sure that that's nice and smooth. You can see on the back here that it's not as worn because that back wasn't getting the same pressure or the same splash or hitting with the hooks or the jigs or whatever. And one of the easy things to do after you've kind of smoothed that down is just take the two screws on the side plate. Maybe we can do it here. Loosen them up a little bit. Let's see if we can be successful at this little trick of the trade here. Loosen them up a little bit, and see if you can't turn. There you go. Turn the post around. Now we've got a smooth side on the post, and then what you would do is you would come in and tighten that up, and that'll help you avoid wearing down the line on this particular reel. And it also make it look a little prettier, but you're just kind of hiding it. The scarring is behind. But if you notice one side's still smooth and the other side has taken the brunt of the wear, just flip the post inward. Well, there's 3 of those, and this one is actually in pretty good condition as opposed to the other 2. The spools are nice and clean on all 3 of these. These are aluminum spools. Look, at least it appears to be an aluminum spool. Could be the original steel spool with the chrome plating. But these are made for heavy fish in the Atlantic. They'll handle a 30 or a 40 pound fish. Just make sure you have the appropriate line on them, and these things will last a long time. As I kind of started saying, you can probably pull up Davy Jones' locker with that. Okay, the next one up that I got in the bag here is the kind of the quintessential charter boat fishing reel. It's the Penn 60 Long Beach. This one, along with the 65, which had a wider frame, are the go-to reels for many charter boats out there, and they continue to this day, even though this reel was discontinued about 15 or 20 years ago. We have a smaller one here. This is the Penn 1. It says 185 on it, and this one, oh, we got a sticker there. This one clearly needs some work. It's got some greening on it from the wet line being left on there. I always suggest, if you have a reel that you're taking in, particularly in salt water, hose the reel down after the use. This is a knuckle buster reel. It turns forward and backwards. It does not have a star drag. You provide all of the power in terms of the drag, and in fighting a fish you can wind backwards so that you can play the fish. So that's the 185. I'll clean that one up and make sure that that one gets a second chance. There's another one that's been around. So these reels have been around some time now. So this one's interesting. This is a J.C. Higgins reel. It's a made in the USA reel. This is, at first look, this is a dead ringer for the Penn 85. And I'm curious about this because I wasn't that certain that Penn made all too many of the trade reels. But a J.C. Higgins reel was a reel that was made for Sears. I'm thinking this one's probably going to be quite rare. I'm going to have to do a little bit of work on that. But looking underneath, this is clearly a Penn numbering underneath here, the 30-85. And this is the handle looks identical to an 85, everything except the side plate, which says J.C. Higgins 304 42 130. So I want to find out some more about that one. We have 2 more in here. We have another of the smaller ones, like the 185. These are what was called the Baymaster series. The 155 was called the Beachmasters, and the other 2 were kind of Baymasters. This one is the 160, which is a narrower frame than the 155. It's missing or has a broken screw in the side plate there. This one may become a parts reel. Yeah, this one's kind of struggling. This one may be a parts reel, but that's okay. They're a very popular reel, and the parts are good for it. And this is what started my conversation with them. This is a Penn Greenie. It's the favorite of a lot of players. It's the 710. This one's turning as free and smooth and easy as it could be, and everything works on it. So that's what drew my eye to the table. Found out that he had all kinds of Penn reels on here, and some of them kind of telling an interesting story, so I thought I would offer for the lot. As I mentioned, we kind of settled around $100. He was happy, I was happy, and I think that anybody who kind of stumbled upon a purchase like that would be happy as well. So I've given you a little bit of history behind these. Stay tuned for the videos. If you want to see them, I encourage you to subscribe. And if you subscribe, I'd ask you to hit the notification button. That way you'll see when I'm posting these, and you can choose the videos that you want to see. I answer questions all the time in comments section, so if you have any questions on any reels, not just this one, leave them in the comments section. I'll be happy to answer those for you. And finally, if you have a reel that needs to be serviced or repaired, I do that by mail. And if you contact me by email on the business card that follows, I'll be happy to provide you with that repair information. So please stay well, stay healthy. Thank you again to the first responders. Stay fishing and stay watching. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Have a great day.